Well, let's discuss this further now, and I can speak to Kelly Cooks, who's Chief Commercial Officer with the travel agency Advantage Travel Partnership. Kelly, morning to you. Thanks for joining us today. And certainly there is a bit of expectation management going on from the airlines and airports, isn't there? Telling passengers not to expect pre-pandemic levels of service. From the clients you've been in contact with, what have they been saying to you about the experience at airports?
Well, I think as your report highlighted just a moment ago, the infrastructure around travel is so interdependent. We need all parts of that supply chain to work in order for the journey for consumers to be seamless. However, as you said, the vast majority of customers and travellers are getting away. Yes, it might take them slightly longer than pre-pandemic to get through the airport, but they are getting away and having fantastic trips. So overwhelming feedback so far has been that people are happy to be able to travel again, and providing that they take the precautions that we're all talking about, so arriving slightly earlier, making sure you're prepared, knowing what you've booked, and that booking process, actually most people are able to go away and are saying that they're really glad to be able to do so after the last 2 years.
Now, one of the people that Katie interviewed for her report was saying that she had turned up 4 hours early, obviously listening to all the news about chaotic scenes on occasion at the airports and deciding to get to the airport for her flight really, really early. I mean, is that a good idea, or is turning up too early a problem?
I completely understand why people would think turning up extra early is a good idea, but actually all it does is add additional pressure on those airport services. So the way that the airports arrange the departures are timed to make sure that the customers have as seamless a journey through the airport as possible. So by arriving too early, all that does is actually cause more of a backlog getting through departures and on the services within the airport as well. So 3 hours really is the optimum amount of time at the moment to get to the airport. But your tour operator, your travel agent, or whoever you have booked with will give you advice on that and guide you.
If someone is weighing up whether to try to book a holiday in the UK or take a flight abroad, what would you say at this stage? What would your advice be? Is it too late to be thinking about flights abroad?
No, absolutely not. In fact, it's a very late market still this year, and around 50% of what we're seeing booked every week is to depart within the next 8 to 12 weeks. So there are still pockets of availability. What I would say is just make sure that you're really conscious on what you are booking, and book with a travel professional that can guide you through that process and be on hand should there be any changes.
And more broadly, looking at the industry, do you think it was taken by surprise by the level of demand this year from Easter right now through to the summer and probably beyond? And are you confident that it can get everything up and running, whether it's staff, security, check-in, so that we see a travel industry that looks more like the travel industry that existed pre-pandemic?
I definitely think that the situation we're seeing at the moment is temporary. So yes, I do think we will get back to that pre-pandemic service, hopefully in the near future. I think that what happened was that we were all aware that there was pent-up demand, but there was almost a turning of a switch where we were able to suddenly start getting the industry up and running again. And it does take time to do that after 2 years. And as your report highlighted, staffing is an issue, getting people back into roles, but also getting them the right approval that they need to work in some areas of travel, and making sure that they're trained and able to look after consumers. That all takes a little bit of time. What we are seeing now is more of our partners saying that they have filled those vacancies, and now it's a case of getting those people trained and up and running. So I do definitely think this is a temporary situation, and I think over the next few weeks and months we'll start to see it alleviate more and more.
OK, Kelly, thank you very much for your thoughts today. Kelly Cooks there from the Advantage Travel Partnership.